with esteemed Sheikh Muhammad Ayad and Hajj Laura Baidoun, and we ask questions whether in person or anonymously. We get these questions answered, inshallah, and we eat suhoor together as a family. Before we begin our program, I'd like to welcome my dear brother, Shab Haidar al-Makhzumi, to recite some verses of the Holy Quran. بعد الصلاة على محمد وآل محمد. اللهم صل على محمد.
صلوا على محمد وآل محمد. الثانية غفر الله لكم. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. الثالثة بأعلى أصواتكم. اللهم صل على. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الرحمن علم القرآن خلق الإنسان علمه البيان. الشمس والقمر بحسبان والنجم والشجر يسجدان والسماء رفعها ووضع الميزان ألا تطغوا في الميزان وأقيموا الوزن بالقسط ولا تخسروا الميزان. والأرض وضعها للأنام فيها فاكهة والنخل ذات الأكمام والحب ذو العصف والريحان فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان. خلق الإنسان من صلصال كالفخار وخلق الجان من مارج من نار فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان. رب المشرقين ورب المغربين فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان. مرج البحرين يلتقيان بينهما برزخ لا يبغيان فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان. يخرج منهما اللؤلؤ والمرجان فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان. وله الجوار المنشآت في البحر كالأعلام فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان. كل من عليها فان ويبقى وجه ربك ذو الجلال والإكرام فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان. يسأله من في السماوات والأرض كل يوم هو في شأن فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان سنفرغ لكم أيها الثقلان فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان يا معشر الجن والإنس إن استطعتم أن تنفذوا من أقطار السماوات والأرض فانفذوا لا تنفذون إلا بسلطان فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان يرسل عليكما شواظ من نار ونحاس فلا تنتصران فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان فإذا انشقت السماء فكانت وردة كالدهان فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان صدق الله العلي العظيم صلوا على محمد وآل محمد.
Ahsan, Brother Haidar, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you. Before we begin our lecture, I'd like to once again remind you about Surah the Scholar tonight. We won't be able to take questions right after the lecture. However, we do recommend you guys come and join us at the North Hall, so the hall closest to the back entrance and exit. There you can ask your questions to Shaykh Muhammad Ayad, inshallah. So without further ado, I'd like to welcome our dear brother and scholar, Shaykh Muhammad Ayad, with 3 loud salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. وآل محمد.
لا غير they need it.
Well, you can use the clicker. Oh,
خلينا
it's
أنا
better.
بالتيبل أنا بالتيبل شوي.
Yeah, on YouTube. So once it reaches. But بدك تكتب.
ما لأنه
But this works.
then I need to stay standing up. You know. Every one of us for a reason and a purpose. And may the peace and blessings of the Almighty God be upon His beloved and pure messenger, the peak of His creation and the symbol of humanity, the Holy Prophet Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad. Ahsanti. And for His immaculate progeny of Dar al-Bayt, especially the leader of our time, the weird Savior and Imam al-Mahdi, may Allah hasten His reappearance and make us all among His dedicated and sincere servants. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in Surah Al-Hujurat, that I asked yesterday if you can go and review this chapter in the Quran specifically, because mashallah it's the ethical chapter in the Quran Kareem, right? It speaks about our moral code, the ethical system of Islam, and it's one of the great chapters that speaks also about that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the most honored of individuals in His eye are the most pious. Inna akramakum indallahi atqakum. One of the interesting verses in this surah that Allah said at the near end of that chapter, قالت الأعراب آمنا. So the Arabs, they said that we believed. He said, لا تقولوا آمنا بل قولوا أسلمنا ولما يدخل الإيمان في قلوبكم. Do not say that you believed, but say you are Muslims, and their real faith that system of faith did not strike your heart fully yet. And we have another interesting verse in the Quran Al-Karim said, Ya ayyuha alladhina amanu aminu. Amanu aminu. So Allah is not repeating himself in the Quran. Oh, you have believed, believe. He's speaking that, subhanallah, Imam Sadiq alayhi salam, to conclude this point, he said that the levels of beliefs are endless. Yes, to be a Muslim, you need the two shahadas. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah, ashhadu anna Muhammad Rasulullah. Congratulations, you became a Muslim. Now, believer, mu'min, that it's a lifetime process where everyone will reach a certain spiritual level based on their capacity and ability. So now, to shock you tonight, to conclude yesterday's discussion about when it comes to the identity of a Muslim, we explained what to be a Muslim. Now, tonight we'll be talking about the identity of a mu'min. I think we finished the Nights of Power, alhamdulillah, and we always appreciate, and Allah is the shakur. Allah is the one who appreciates the effort we put to seek nearness to Him, by the way. Allah is a shakur. Look, unfortunately, we're living in a time where less people are being appreciative. Appreciation is very important for us to keep growing. Even when it comes to marriages, just on the side note, one of the major issues why a lot of issues are developing inside our houses, divorce cases are rising, is lack of appreciation. The more we appreciate each other on a daily basis, the more we keep the relationship tied and strong. Allah, He requested from us daily appreciation. Allah, He is the one who made 5 daily prayers so we can come and thank Him for the endless amount of blessings that He's showering on us every single moment. But my point is, when it comes to appreciation, Allah is a shakur. And He appreciated us. He thanked us when we came to the Nights of Power. So in the Night of Power, we recite a supplication called Dua Abi Hamza Thumali, long dua. It's, I think, one of the greatest gems in the Shia school of thought. I think a lot of our brothers and sisters in Sunni school of thought, if they had access to this dua and to the meanings and spiritual connection and mental understanding of Allah that we will get just from a 1-hour dua, I think they will be shocked about how much Ahlul Bayt they gave to the Muslim nation, right? Especially Sahifa Sajjadiyya, subhanAllah, it's described as Zabur al-Muhammad. You know, we have the Quran al-Kareem, we have Mafatih al-Jinan, we have something called Sahifa Sajjadiyya, Imam Zayn al-Abidin's book of supplications. It was called the Zabur of al-Muhammad. And unfortunately, majority of the Shias, when you tell them Sahifa Sajjadiyya, how many supplications do we have in it? What this Sahifa contains, majority of them don't know. So that's why please build a relationship with that Sahifa, where we have something called Dua Abi Hamza. Look at this short part of Dua Abi Hamza. Dear brothers and sisters, wallah, one of the ways that really helped me expand my knowledge in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and spirituality is listening to du'as. I know Quran is very important, but also try on a daily basis, listen to certain du'as. Like even Dua Jawshan al-Kabir. Why we wait for the Nights of Power to recite it? We can put it any day outside the month of Ramadan and try to actually gain more understanding of this dua so we are ready for the month of Ramadan. In addition, Dua bi Hamza. Imam Zayn al-Abidin said, there is a nation, listen to these words please. إن قوما آمنوا بألسنتهم فأدركوا ما أملوا وإن آمنا بك بألسنتنا وقلوبنا لتعفو عنا. So he said that there is a nation that believed just verbally. So verbally they reverted to Islam and they actually gained what they hoped for afterlife. Look at the generosity of Allah. So they actually gained what they hoped from you and what they expected from God's mercy and forgiveness. And then he said, and we believed with our tongues and our hearts. So yes, there's different levels of what? Of faith, different levels of spirituality, different levels of Muslims. That's why, subhanAllah, if we all gathered under the guidance of Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam, we can be at least on the same page understanding the major concepts of Islam. Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam, they served in what? Defining what life is. So they were working to give us the same view on life, the same perspective, point of view, how we picture life as individuals consciously, right? Mentally. Death. What death is as a concept in the school of thought of Ahlul Bayt. How they describe death. When I tell you that Imam Zain al-Abidin said that death is a bridge that connects this life to the afterlife. You're just moving. You're walking from a place to another. That's it, period. That's what death is in the school of thought of Ahlul Bayt. Life, they said that the actual life is the afterlife. And we're working here for the actual life. So this is not the real life. This is the working place. We're planting seeds for the actual life. And so on. You can apply it on freedom, what male is from the words of wisdom of Ahlul Bayt, female, roles of males, females, and so on and so forth. When we agree on these concepts, we will be united as Shias, because we are united under the same umbrella of Ahlul Bayt. So now moving forward, and do not be shocked tonight, Ahlul Bayt, they are realistic, and their expectations of us are very high. You know, in any now great college or school, they tell you that we have highly expectations of our students that people comes here, right? So they expect 4.0 GPA, students working day and night, full-time student, concentrating, focusing, studying. So do not be shocked. Those, we didn't make them up. Those are actually from the words of Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam. And then you apply it on yourselves. Starting. عن أبي عبد الله الصادق عليه السلام. He said in Arabic language, إنما شيعة جعفر من عف بطنه وفرجه واشتد جهاده وعمل لخالقه ورجى ثوابه وخاف عذابه فإذا رأيت أولئك فأولئك شيعة جعفر. So he's giving us some characteristics and qualities about who are the Shia Ja'far. So he said from Abi Abdullah, he said, indeed the Shia of Ja'far are those. He gave 5 different characteristics: who guard their stomachs and private parts, intensify their jihad, work for their creator, hope for his reward, fear his punishment. And when you see those characteristics in someone, indeed those are the Shias of Ja'far. That's why I don't know if you heard before that many scholars, they distinguish and differentiate between you being a lover of Ahlul Bayt versus you being a what? A Shia. Now you tell me, oh Sheikh, so we are not Shias. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that these are characteristics for us to work on so we can actually have this title and position on Judgment Day. You know, not everyone who calls himself a Shia is a Shia. Now moving forward, Imam Sadiq alayhi salam, he said, Ya ma'ashar al-Shia, O Shia, you have been attributed to us in the green. You have been attributed to us, so be an adornment for us and do not be a disgrace. Now, I don't know, I don't like to speak about negative stuff when I'm on any podium, but it's all under the essence of constructive criticism, right? Unfortunately, there are minor groups in the Shia school of thought that they are doing crazy stuff on social media. And really, myself, when I look at it, either I will cry or laugh. That's my reaction. And I actually see the comments when they are really destroying, ruining, corrupting the image of who? Not you. The image of Ahlul Bayt. The image of Ahlul Bayt. There's a lot of Sunnis, they hate Shias because of some wrong practices of the Shias. You have to be cautious and careful. Otherwise, when we stand before Allah on Judgment Day, Imam Ja'far Sadiq might catch me and tell me, hey, you were putting turban on your head and you were preaching Shia Islam, our words, but you were pushing people away from religion and faith. Especially those people who over-exaggerate. I don't know why. You will not reach God faster if you scream so high. And if you, for example, yell, and you moved, you start punching yourself. It's not like that. Right. Also from Imam Hassan Askari alayhi salam, he said, fear Allah and be an adornment, not a disgrace. Draw toward us every form of love. So our role, to attract people toward Ahlul Bayt, to be a beautiful image of them. Imam Askari. And repel from us every form of ugliness. Repel every form of what? Now you apply. How many so-called followers of Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam? They are doing a lot of practices they are new. If we actually just follow what our grand scholars, they told us to do, then we are on the safe side. But when youth are trying to make their own update, right? Their own creativity. There is nothing called creativity in Sunnah. There is nothing called creativity in sha'air. In sha'air, what sha'air is? Anyone heard this term before? Sha'air are the practices that we do, for example, in Ashura, in Eid al-Ghadir. Those Shia practices, we call them sha'air. Sha'air are the practical images of Ahlul Bayt outside. You can be creative. Yes, you can suggest some things to make it more attractive, more fun, more engaging. It's fine. But you going extreme and creating your own stuff, that's against the Shia identity. Shias, the first lesson they learn, to follow the Imam of their time and to follow the rules and laws of that Imam. If Imam al-Mahdi, he looks at our hearts and he knows that 1% we might disobey him in something, he will not choose us. It's not like that. One of the reasons why Imam Mahdi left into occultation, one of the reasons, that he doesn't want to repeat the same national mistakes, and mistakes at the national level, at the nation of Islam level, that the previous Imams experienced. So definitely the Imam will not come in 72 warriors and repeat Ashura and Karbala. Make sense? I'm making now outside connections just to explain to you how dangerous is someone to be creative in creating his own sha'ar when it comes to Shia school of thought. You have to keep the image sacred, dear brothers and sisters. Now, when it comes to also another hadith, Muhammad ibn Ajlan narrated, I was with Abu Abdullah. When you say Abu Abdullah, means Sadiq alayhi salam. You, subhanAllah, we are called Ja'faris. And Ja'faris, because Imam Ja'far al-Sadiq in his era of the fall of the Umayyads dynasty and the rise of the Abbasi dynasty, Imam Ja'far al-Sadiq was able to preach Islam freely. He had a room to breathe. And imagine that short period of time, Imam al-Sadiq was able to fill the libraries of Islam from the light of Prophet Muhammad. How about giving Ahlul Bayt around 50 years just to preach Islam? What they will do to the world? Think about it. Now Imam Ja'far al-Sadiq alayhi salam, he said when a man enters and greeted him, he asked him, how are your brothers? So he asked him about who? About the brothers in faith. He said he praised him and spoke highly of him. Then he asked him, how often do the rich visit the poor among them? Allahu Akbar. So he's asking if the rich Shias, they visit the poor, they care about the poor. He said rarely. Then the Imam asked, how often do the rich support the poor among them despite having the means? The man replied, rarely. So he said, you mentioned, the guy told Imam Ja'far al-Sadiq, he told him, you mentioned virtues that are not found in those who are with us. Imam said, then how then do these people claim to be our Shias? Ya Allah. So Shia is not an external identity, Ali holding a banner or doing latim and Ashura. That will not make you an actual Shia. Shia is more about practicing. Yes, those images are important. I'm not against them. When I was a teenager, I was influenced, I was inspired, I was energized, and I was more motivated to be on this path because of these rituals. I loved them. I fell in love with these rituals. But at the end, after I became more mature, I understood that Shia school of thought is about ethics, morals, and your image outside in the society. That's why, subhanAllah, you know one of our narrations, that when Imam Mahdi appears, for example, there's a lot of figures on social media that we expect that these individuals are in the front lines in the army of Al-Mahdi, right? Including myself, I'm reminding myself these words, wallah. And I don't consider myself in that level yet. And I will not consider any time I will be there. So when the Imam appear, if he chose me, I will know. If he didn't, then I have to keep working on myself and blaming the self and criticizing it. So I can always move forward and develop the self. But when it comes to that, there's a lot of figures on social media that we expect that the Imam will choose the moment he appears and put them in front lines. You will be shocked that we, in our narrations, that the majority of the 313 are unknown individuals. Those who Imam Ali alayhi salam described them, he said, Subhanallah, how beautiful this. He said, مجهولون في الأرض معروفون في السماء. They are unknown on earth and they are well known where? In the skies. So the angels speaks highly of them, but we don't care if people speak highly of us or not. Make sense? Trust me, to please God and to displease all mankind is better than pleasing all mankind and displeasing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Trust me with that, straightforward. If you know that your intention is pure and innocent, and you know that you're doing right, and you know that you have like resources that you refer to, and you know that what you're doing, don't care about what people will say. Imam Qadim alayhi salam has Imam Zain Abidin has a nice hadith. He said, if you have a rich gem in your hand, would you care if people called it cheap? Would you care? And you know that it's very expensive and very rare, you won't care. And if you have something cheap or people are speaking highly of it, would you actually be proud of yourself? That's what faith is. That's what the identity of Shi'ism is. Now, moving forward, the noble traits. When it comes to Jabir al-Ju'fi narrates, and as I told you, I always like to put the hadith in Arabic, and I like the original words of Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam to be presented, and I know some of you know Arabic. So Abu Ja'far, peace be upon him, said to me, O Jabir, those who claim to be our Shi'as merely by professing love for us, the household, it is not true by Allah. Our Shi'as are only those who. So our Shi'as are not just those who love us. Our Shi'as are. So he went from emotional energy to practical energy. So those people, you know this old misconception, oh, Allah is in my heart, I love Him, I don't need to prove to you that I love Allah. Habib, man bidbi'a hai. In which decani, as we say in famous old terminology in Arabic. You can't sell that. Even in the Quran we have, if you loved Allah, Rasulullah is saying, if you loved Allah, if you're claiming that you love Allah, the infinite of perfection, the source of all sources of life and blessings, he said, if you love Him, then follow me and Allah will love you. Proving to God practically that you love Him is better than just saying it verbally. It's like, you know, I said that before, I'm repeating myself now, not tonight, I said it in different occasion. It's like in marriage, when the husband every day write poems, and mashallah, he's very expert. He's using ChatGPT these days, unfortunately. And they use some good voices, and no one knows. Like, she doesn't go and check if he actually, he brought it somewhere online or something. Or he brings something and just edited it to make it, and no, I did it. But on the practical level, they do nothing. Let me give you an example. It's like two Romeo and Juliet in our community. Or I don't like to mention, it's fine, but and when it comes to Layla Qais, all these different novels about love and romance. But at the end, after marriage, he's a couch potato, he's saying not fulfilling his role. Then definitely that female will hate him. That love will what? Will fade away. Just because he's practically not proving it. It's who gave that feeling to that female? Who created that attribute within females? Allah. Allah is the same. Allah, if He saw His servant not proving practically that he's abiding by His laws, fulfilling the obligations, refraining from the haram, Allah hates those who say what they don't do. Which we have this very scary verse. كَبُرَ مَقْتًا عِنْدَ اللَّهِ أَن تَقُولُوا مَا لَا تَفْعَلُونَ يَا أَيُّهَا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا لَا تَقُولُوا مَا لَا تَفْعَلُونَ. Do not say what you don't do. So talk the talk, as we say, and walk the walk. يعني walk the talk, as we say, right? Ahsant. So this is how we see things. That's why Shi'as are not those wallah who sit and do 2 hours lectures. My teacher in Hawza once said, any lecture you say, you will be questioned for it on Judgment Day if you applied it on yourself before others. So that, I'm trying to smile here and laugh, but trust me, I'm scared from inside. Now these things are proof on me on Judgment Day. It's not easy. So when it comes to that, Imam said, those who claim that they love us, by Allah, they are not our Shi'as except fear Allah and obey Him. Fear Allah and what? Obey Him. Sunnis, we don't do shirk. Fear Allah and obey Him. They are known only by their humility, piety, fulfilling trusts. You know, Imam Zain al-Abidin said, if the killer of my father Hussein entrusted me with the sword that he cut the head of my father with it, I'll keep that trust. Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, when he migrated from Mecca to Medina, he had trusts in his house for the unbelievers that they used to stone him on the street. He kept them. He told Imam Ali alayhi salam, before you follow me, return these trusts to his people. Allahu Akbar. That's the image of a perfect man. That's when it comes to traits and values and virtues in Islam. Now second, they are known by their humility. We said that frequently remembrance of Allah, fasting, prayer. For being kind to their parents, assisting their needy neighbors, the destitute, the indebted, and the orphans. They are always active, productive. They don't waste time. They are always trying to fulfill something. Trust me, like, if now I ask extreme gamer, right? Like, nowadays, alhamdulillah, PS5 and Xbox, they record how many hours you played this game or that game, right? And subhanallah, yani, you feel after a while, shuhayda, imagine on Judgment Day, some teenagers or youth are okay, you spend 1/3 of your life sleeping, the other 1/3 working or studying, and the third, you still have, if you lived 58 years, you still around, you have removed 7 years that when you were a child, so you still have 17 years, right? Now 17 years, every half a day, every half hour a day, 30 minutes a day, will be equal to a 1 year in the remaining 17 years. You're getting the math? So if I lived 58 years, the first 7 years I was a child, so subtract them, I still have 51 years. 1/3 sleeping, I still have 34. 1/3 either studying or working, I still have 17 years, right? Now every half hour a day will be equal to a 1 year in those 17 years. Now, remove with me. Using the bathroom, preparing food, eating, checking your phone, communicating with people, transportation from a room to another or place to another. How much time do you still have for God? Add gaming on it. Gaming will destroy those 7 years. Then how much time you gave for God in 58 years? In my teacher, he said, you gave Allah in 58 years, you gave Allah 1 year. When it comes to praying and all what we do. And some individuals claim in the nights of power, not you, wallah, I'm not speaking about, I'm speaking about myself. Some individuals claim, and okay, we gave Allah 6-7 hours in the nights of power. Oh, we gave Him Allah, we did Allah, right? Well, if you end up on Judgment Day when the angels are doing the final judgment, the religious individual, the extremely religious, he gave Allah 1.5 years in 58 years. And then, subhanallah, I loved what Sheikh Ahmed said here at the end of the biggest night of power. He said, oh Allah, accept from us this little. I like this. تقبل منا هذا القليل, this little. So that's how we see things, نحن subhanallah. Now, this hadith, Imam Ali alayhi salam said, our Shi'as are those who support our guardianship. Love each other in our affection. Love each other. Ya Abul Hassan, what's going on in the Shia school of thought these days? Look, Imam al-Mahdi, he said, forgive ulak, that just transitional word. So, when it comes to Imam al-Mahdi, he said that our Shi'as will not be blessed with our appearance and them viewing us and seeing us and meeting us until they unite under one heart, one big heart. So Imam Ali is saying, our Shi'as are those who support our guardianship, love each other in our affection. How you dare, if you follow a certain marja', to have an issue with followers of another marja'? How you dare if, okay, I fasted 30 days this year in the month of Ramadan, and another marja' fasted 20 days, we were right, they were wrong. Who told you that? Who told you that? Why are you creating division within the Shia school of thought, right? Even if I said in the beginning that there are some Shias, they do some wrong practices where they bring some sort of a bad image to Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam, I personally don't have an issue with them. Yes, scientifically, religiously, if I was able to communicate with them at the personal level and talk to them, explain that what they were doing is wrong, but at the end I am ordered by Imam Ali alayhi salam, who is the guardian of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who is successor of the Prophet, to always maintain what? Unity with them. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. So, okay. Ali alayhi salam said, they love each other in our affection, cooperate in promoting our cause. And if they get angry, they do not transgress. They don't lose the control of their anger. And if they are pleased, they do not go to excess. Yani, they don't overly feel pleasured or pleased where they might do wrong things or corrupt themselves. They are a blessing for those they live with and a peace for those they associate with. Yani everyone who interacts with you must feel that beautiful energy of Ahlul Bayt alayhim as-salam. Now, I think we don't have much time to finish all the discussion tonight. I also added some characteristics of believers in the Quran, and from each chapter in the Quran, how Allah described the believers. It's a very long content, but inshallah we will try to summarize it, just focusing on the characteristics of Shi'as from the words of Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam. They humble toward the believers, mighty against the disbelievers. Mighty is not negative pride, it's positive pride. Positive pride when you are proud of yourself that you're following the best school of thought ever, right? And you feel that you're gaining a lot of light from that school of thought. Let me just fix a misconception. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Quran Kareem said, هُوَ الَّذِي أَرْسَلَ رَسُولَهُ بِالْهُدَى. And I will conclude with this, because I think I covered majority of the main qualities and characteristics of the followers of Shi'ism. Now, Allah said in the Quran Kareem, هُوَ الَّذِي أَرْسَلَ رَسُولَهُ بِالْهُدَى وَدِينِ الْحَقِّ لِيُظْهِرَهُ عَلَى الدِّينِ كُلِّهِ. So Allah is saying in one of the verses that He has sent His messenger with the guidance and the truth, the rightful religion. So that religion can, in a way, not dominate in a negative way, but it can spread and attract the other school of thoughts and the other religions. One of the scholars said that yes, the other religions, when it comes to self-discipline, morality, ethics, they actually have some light. So there is nur, there is light in all religions on earth, right? There is nur and light in every school of thought. But compared to Islam, Shia school of thought, we believe that Shia school of thought serves like the sun compared. Also, when it comes to, look what I said, self-discipline, purification, spiritual growth. So if every followers of any religion also, they actually follow the religious teachings, not they just took that identity as majority of people doing nowadays. They actually followed it. Yes, it can heal them spiritually, it can help them grow spiritually, and it can help them discipline themselves. SubhanAllah, the moral system of all religions, it's equal. Now, when it comes to Islam, compared to all other school of thoughts, ideologies, religions, it's like the sun compared to the light of the stars, for example. Make sense? So that's why we must work hard on beautifying, showing the sun to the other people, to actually look at the sun and benefit from it. Sallallahu ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. So to conclude with this, Shi'as, as Imam Ali salam said, they are humble, they act with mercy toward each other, and they have some mighty, some positive pride. They show the strong image, the beautiful image, the highly image of the Shia school of thought, right? So we don't have negative pride in a way that, okay, that will give me some ego in a way that I will stop communicating or talking or dialogue or trying to connect with others. That's negative pride. Positive pride is like this verse when it said, أَنْتُمُ الْأَعْلَوْنَ إِن كُنْتُمْ مُؤْمِنِينَ. You are the highest if you are actually believers. You have to be proud and thank Allah for this infinite blessing which He put you on the straight path. Look what Jabir, who said that? Abu Ja'far. Abu Ja'far who? Who can remind us? Abu Ja'far who? When we say Abu Ja'far, we means which Imam? Sadiq alayhi salam. Thank you, sister. Sadiq alayhi salam. So sisters are concentrating more than brothers tonight. Okay, he said, O Jabir, the Shia of Ali, peace be upon him, are those whose voices do not exceed their hearing. Now when I'm raising my voice, that doesn't make me, I'm doing a lecture, so I have to go up and down. That's, subhanAllah, in teaching also, you have to have high tone, low tone. You can't be in the same tone. Whose bellies do not exceed their bodies. Ya Abul Hasan. That's, la hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. You know, one of the funny things that they always say about scholars that, they have kirish and stuff like that. And subhanAllah, I don't know why, but the previous generation, they need to have more education about sports and working out and losing weight. Now, when it comes to who do not praise us falsely, nor do they associate with our enemies. They don't associate with our enemies of Allah. Nor do they sit with those who criticize us. Sit in a debate, bringing proof, different than sitting and enjoying. Like, you know how we have this bad habit. No, I'm not saying it's cursed, I'm not saying that, but it's a bad habit. It's a waste of time, majority of the time, which is cards and wara and so. Like, imagine two people entertaining themselves, and you're sitting with someone who hates Ahlul Bayt, or associate partners, or is an enemy of Allah, but you're entertaining yourself with that individual. That's what Ali alayhi salam meant here. Listen to this, please. The Shia of Ali are those who do not bark like a dog, nor do they covet like a crow, nor do they beg people even if they will die of hunger. Even if they will die for hunger, they don't beg for money. They don't extend their hand to ask anyone. Their livelihoods are simple. Lifestyle is simple. Let me tell you, there is nothing wrong with you living a high lifestyle. But wallah, just a practical advice. But always be ready to the worst. Make sense? And always prepare yourself psychologically that you're able to live to the minimum. And if you have the maximum, you thank Allah, right? أَمَّا بِنِعْمَةِ رَبِّكَ فَحَدِّثْ. And with the blessings of Allah, then speak and show. Show people the blessings of Allah on you. There's no wrong with that. Purify yourself. Wear something expensive. There's no issue with that. But wear what you need, not what you want. Need, not wants. There's no extravagance in Islam. It's cursed. I think Sheikh Aus spoke about that in one of the nights. But here Ali alayhi salam said their livelihoods are simple. Yani they adapt themselves to live at any lifestyle. Make sense? Always psychologically prepare yourself for the worst and you will be happy, trust me. Their homes are modest. If they are present, they are not noticed. يعني مش بفوت بصير يصرخ وعيط, I want attention, please give me attention. Okay? And he said if they are absent, they are not missed. If they fall ill, they are not visited. If they die, they are not mourned. They visit each other's graves. Let me explain that, and it sounds weird. Yani those individuals, they do not put any pressure on anyone. Make sense? Yes, those people in their in their funeral, if you had these characteristic and qualities, the funeral will be packed. But subhanallah, your ethical system, morality attracted people. But you do not burden anyone with anything. You are the lightest person ever. No one will feel your presence because no one is serving you. Makes sense? How lovely to be like that. That's why Ali alayhi salam said, if you want to be my follower, the follower of Ali, he said, be a person, when you leave any gathering, people will miss you. And if you die, people will cry for you. Not wa akhiran fal, rayyahna, alhamdulillah. It's not like that. It's more you're very light and everyone like your presence because you're not pressuring anyone. And trust me, if you're like that, everyone will serve you without you asking. It was mentioned that the wife the wife of Imam Khomeini, when they made an interview with her, they asked her, speak one thing about Imam Khomeini being a husband. He said, never he gave me one order in his life. He never told me to do anything. I did everything by myself. And there's no exaggeration. These people don't lie. Make sense? So be like that person. Trust me, when you don't request, people will serve you without asking. Or if you want to ask in a beautiful way. But no, our culture, unfortunately, like our children are our slaves and our wives, unfortunately, they are like that. This is the Shias of who? Of Ali alayhi salam. A story that I remembered, and we conclude, inshallah, before the Q&A. Imam Ali invited one of his friends to lunch outside the month of Ramadan. Then, they finish eating. You didn't have a sink system in that time, pipes or pipeline, stuff like that, so people can go and wash their hands. So they will bring for you, for example, a bowl filled with some water and something for you to wash your hands. Then after they finished, imagine Imam Ali, the commander of the faithful, the caliph that time, he invited a father and a son, right? So Imam Ali brought that and he started washing the hand of the father. The father felt so embarrassed, so shy. What? Ali is washing my hand? Then he felt more embarrassed and expecting what Ali will wash his son's hands also? So all of a sudden Imam al-Hasan walking in and washing the hands of his son. So Ahl al-Bayt are like that. When you go to Imam al-Mahdi will serve you. He will not expect anyone to serve him. That's the actual Shias. Wallahi, I mentioned 40% of the hadith prepared tonight. And look, we felt shocked. What's going on? Actually, that's the expectations of Ahl al-Bayt alayhi salam from us. Yes. Ahl al-Bayt, they want us to be the best, the top, the most attractive, the most influential, the most inspiring. They want us to be the most knowledgeable, the most wise, the most productive, active individuals ever. Positive. Their families are strong. They have a strong belief system, strong discipline system, strong moral system, ethical system. You have to be proud that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala chose your soul to be born and raised in such a family. And to conclude, in beliefs we believe. In beliefs we believe. We believe that any soul was chosen to be born inside these families. It has the capacity to reach such levels. So please do not waste time, work hard on yourself. We still have a couple days until the end of month of Ramadan. We can have a fresh start on Eid, inshallah. May Allah guide me and you and help us all, assist us all. Inshallah, wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Ala hubbi Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. For their love, and inshallah, for our intention to follow their teachings. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.